Hi, this is Mick Vakula. I'm filling in for Kurt Heppard until we get his Blackboard Access account information straightened out. But I wanted to give you a quick overview of the course and how it's set up and how it'll operate so you know where we're going over the next few weeks. So if you follow along, I've got the mouse and I'll take you through a couple of things. Each time you open the course, it should appear with this introductory screen under the announcements, and we'll post various announcements throughout the semester. And then let's run through the rest of the buttons on your left-hand side. There's Dr. Heppard's information for contact purposes. Next, we have the syllabus. It's available here in a file for you to download for convenience purposes, but otherwise you can also access it rather quickly on Blackboard right here. As we go through it, you'll see there's a course schedule, and the way this course is set up is in a series of modules within Blackboard, so the content information is organized around modules. But the way we deliver the lessons varies slightly from that approach, meaning that in each module we actually have 2 lessons, and it's set up around the 2 days of the week on which assignments are due. So on a Monday we'll have tasks for you to do, and on a Wednesday we'll have tasks for you to do, and as you're well aware by now, it's an accelerated course, so we move pretty quickly with 2 lessons during the week as opposed to 1 lesson in a normal 14-week semester. So basically things are due on a Monday and Wednesday. And we set it up so that if you have an assignment due and you're supposed to post a question or answer to a discussion board, that would be due on a Monday and a Wednesday. So let's take a look at that in the discussion board and how that all works. So if we go to discussions, you'll see that they're organized by lesson and by date. So here we've got lesson 1A, October 23rd. You're supposed to post a personal introduction. And then lesson 1B, also October 23rd, you're supposed to answer a question about the course content. Then we move on to Wednesday, and on Wednesday, October 25th, you would answer a question about Chapter 2, Lesson 2 on Vision, Mission, and Objectives. Now for the first week, we're going to have everyone answer everything, so get used to doing that. But as we go into week 2, we're going to split it up by groups so you do not have to answer all of the questions in the course. But what we ask you to do is read what somebody else posted as an answer and then post a reply to that. So for course credit, you'll be doing both discussion postings and replies to those discussion postings. That may not be the case in all of the courses you've taken in the past. Okay, looked at the syllabus for a little bit. We'll come back to that. Books and materials. The book is Crafting and Executing Strategy. You're also required to get an account in the Business Strategy Game, which is an online simulation. And then later in the term, you'll have to take an exam using Proctor University as a proctoring service. This is a standardized exam that's designed to be an assessment of your knowledge. It's not an exam that we basically cover course content on, but it's a basic exam for all business students to take before they graduate. Okay, books and materials. Now we'll move on to learning modules, where the organization of the course takes place. What you'll see here is a module appearing for lesson 1. You'll see at least 8 of those throughout the semesters, and then you can move through the modules, as you're well aware from past courses, by the arrow on the right or paging down through the table of contents right there. So you run through the course, or module, excuse me, get to a to-do list, tells you what to read, and those sorts of things. And get down to a discussion question. Here's where you go to introduce yourself. And if you hit click to launch, it'll take you right to the discussion area that we looked at earlier and right to the area where you need to post. Generally, when you're posting an answer, we ask you to go here and create a thread to post an answer so that your answer doesn't get buried underneath my posting that's already there. And as you know from past experience, you click on to create a thread, and the system pretty much operates like an email system would to allow you to create something. And the forum pops up, it tells you what you're supposed to do, introduce yourself, and then you add your information right there. So that's pretty much how the discussions work, as again, you're probably well aware. Going back to the module, there's other things in there with regard to what you're supposed to do. Certain kinds of readings. This one talks about the business strategy game, what that's all about, and we'll give you more information about that in a week or so to get an account set up to make that happen. And then finally, a reading here about how to do the cases. I'll take you over to the left-hand side where it says group case assignments. When you go there, you'll see you've been organized into groups, and it tells you which case your group has and the date on which the presentation about the case is due. And on that prior page, it told you what you're supposed to do in those presentations for cases. The cases are in the book. Group work area, when you go here, depending upon what group you are in, and it won't display for me because I'm in a special mode, your group will pop up with a variety of things that you can use to communicate with each other. Business strategy game. It's an online web-based game system. Everybody creates an account, and you go through the process of operating a business in a simulated sense. And people have done this over the years, and there's a lot of data behind it, and the game works really well. You'll be competing against all of the groups in all of our strategy courses on campus at this time. And then you'll also be compared to groups around the world playing the game to see how you fare compared to roughly 11 or 12,000 students playing at any given point in time. There are quizzes. We are not going to count these for grades in the course, but you can take those for proficiency purposes. We recommend that you do. This one's got 10 questions for Chapter 1, and it's just a quick way to test your knowledge. You will take a final exam at the end of the course before final exam period, actually a comprehensive exam, which will test those concepts as well, so it helps to go through the quizzes to get through that material. Okay, let's go back to the syllabus quickly and look at some of the other aspects of the course so you understand what we're doing in terms of grading. The major field test exam, again, it's a standardized exam that assesses your basic business knowledge. We're required to do that before you graduate. That is graded, but it doesn't get a specific grade. We basically look at how you did relative to everyone else in the course, and we check you out with regard to standard deviation from the mean and things like that to assess your score. In general, we never put you in a position where it would hurt your grade in the course. Course comprehensive exam, end of the course before final exam, because we know you're all graduating. We want to get you past that process before final exams happen. So you'll take the comprehensive exam at the end of the course and not in finals. Case presentations throughout the course, so 2 of those, 5% each. Simulation rank, and there's an exam in the simulation as well. We do rank you according to how you perform relative to other teams and then give you a grade based upon your ranking. And again, we look at how far apart you were from the other team's performance, not so much in terms of your absolute performance in the game. Final project and presentation. At the end, you'll make a PowerPoint presentation or other media, whichever you so choose to use that looks good, and talk about how you did in the game and how you think that all worked out for you as an assessment of whether or not you're picking up the strategic management concepts. Discussion answer postings. Again, you have to answer questions throughout the course in the discussion area. 15% of your total grade, and then finally credit for discussion replies. So reading what other people wrote and interacting in that way is important, and you get credit for doing that in the course. They're described in detail in the syllabus, and please take a look at those and read those so you understand what that's all about with regard to grading criteria, and we're certainly willing to answer questions at any time with regard to that. Okay, this got a little longer than I had hoped, but I tried to run through everything as fast as I could to give you a flavor for what the course looks like. Please don't hesitate to email or call at any time if you have questions, and we'll help you out. We wish you all the best in the course and also in your future as you go into your careers, and for those of you that aren't already in a career, let's say, and let us know what you're doing and how you're doing. We'll be certainly interested to find out about that. Thanks.